Buenos días. Bienvenidos todos. Thank you, Deputy Mayor for Education Jennifer Niles, State Superintendent of Education Hanseul Kang, Center Directors, partners, and friends for coming to the Spanish Education Development Center for today's press conference highlighting the support and investment the district is making in early childhood education, teachers, and centers. The Spanish Education Development Center, commonly known as SED, is one of the oldest community-based nonprofit agencies, the first bilingual early childhood education center, and the first nationally accredited bilingual preschool in the Washington metropolitan area. The SED Center opened its doors in 1971 to provide daycare to preschool-aged children of low-income working parents of the Latino community in the neighborhoods of Adams Morgan, Mount Pleasant, and Columbia Heights. As the population increased and diversified, the SED Center developed programs to meet the changing needs of a wider range of Latino immigrants and their children. In 2009, the SED Center moved to a newly renovated facility in the Petworth neighborhood, thanks to the vision, passion, commitment, and generosity of our board president, Mr. Raymond Ritchie, who mobilized the real estate and construction community in order to make this possible. Today, the SED Center serves over 700 families a year through child development and adult education classes. The SED Center is currently licensed to serve 161 children ages 3 months to 4 years old. Our children program is accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, has a gold tier, the highest level of program quality, and last year it was recognized as 1 out of 5 bright spots in early childhood education by the White House Initiative on Educational Excellence. Thank you. The SED Center's adult education program serves approximately 600 students a year, mostly Latino, living in the Washington metropolitan area. Adult students can choose between weekday, weeknight, and weekend classes. The SED Center is the only nonprofit provider of visual classes in the district that has an in-house 13-hour training session for all teachers and a 6-hour orientation for all new students. For over 46 years, the SED Center has provided bilingual, high-quality academic programs to Washington, D.C. residents, mostly from low-income backgrounds and the Latino community. SED's programs empower families and individuals through education development, ultimately helping to provide a healthy, prosperous, and fulfilling future for our students and their loved ones. The true testament of SED's success rests with its staff, many of whom have been with SED for over 2 decades. SED's volunteer board is drawn from a diverse group of local professionals who work in close partnership with staff on financial management and program oversight. Finally, our adult program provides the SED Center with valuable people who contribute to the development and enhancement of the Center's community programs. Volunteers are appropriately trained by SED to serve as teacher aides in the preschool infant toddler program and adult education program as well. This past fiscal year, 191 volunteers contributed more than 15,000 hours to the various programs. So now, it is within this context that the SED Center wants to express its appreciation and gratitude for the investment made in early childhood education during the recent past years. The new DC licensing standards for early childhood education not only enforce and improve the quality of the service provided, but also improve and recognize the value of professionals that devote their careers to early childhood education. Raising this bar helps the general public understand that having a career in early childhood education is more than simply taking care of children, an activity long perceived as practically unskilled work. Rather, a professional in early childhood is a knowledgeable professional that not only cares but educates a human being from his or her first months of life. This professional has the knowledge and skills to apply new research on human development and learning to the daily routine of the children they care for. This professional has the knowledge to apply the best curricular and developmental practices to help children excel. 90% of the human brain develops before the age of 5, There is no time to waste. As I said before, the true testament of SET's success rests with its staff. Thanks to the investment in early childhood education, SET staff substitutes and parent volunteers have been able to benefit from educational training and scholarship programs offering various early childhood education degrees and credentials, such as the Child Development Associate credential or Associate's, Bachelor's, and Master's degrees. In the fall of 2010, SET partnered with the National Black Child Development Institute and Central Texas College to have our staff benefit from the Teacher Education and Compensation Helps Scholarship. Classes were offered here at SET, and 15 staff enrolled, attended, and graduated with an associate degree in early childhood education during the first cycle. Currently, 6 staff are enrolled and attending teacher scholarship classes working on their associate degrees, and 2 staff on their bachelor degrees. Our center is very grateful for this much-needed investment made in early childhood education, as it reflects directly on the quality of services the program can offer to our young students and their families. And most of all, this is an investment for the well-being and success of the future generations. As part of the district's investment initiative, SET also worked with First Step summer volunteers. Some of them have returned to SET for their second consecutive year. This summer, 9 young students have been placed in early childhood classes to learn and practice high-quality early childhood education activities. During a 6 to 7 week period, these students will learn daily routines, including meal times, toileting, how to interact with parents, lesson planning, multicultural and multi-ethnic practices, language development, including early sign language, and observation records. Furthermore, I should also mention that these volunteers have a deep immersion in the Spanish language through songs, games, and other routines, which is a very valuable experience in today's world. We strongly praise and encourage the opportunity to offer the First Step students a valuable practice to gain professional experience in the field of early childhood education. To work with young children requires knowledge, dedication, and commitment to appropriately serve this important segment of the population. Practicing in the field also provides the students with beneficial exposure to early childhood education, and this experience will make them better informed early childhood professionals. Thank you again to the city and the educational policy members for helping improve the lives and future of our community. Gracias. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deputy Mayor Jennifer Niles. Thank you.
Good morning. Bienvenidos. My Spanish is not so good that I will continue in Spanish, so I will go in English. But I wanted to acknowledge being here. This is a wonderful day, and I really want to thank Director Egas for hosting us today. I also want to start by saying, you might not know this, but today is National Summer Learning Day. So it is particularly appropriate for us to be here, because there are many levels of learning that are happening. Not only do we have the little teeny people learning, but we have our high school students turning to college students who are learning how to become the professionals. I just left Simon Elementary School, where our K-2 students are building their literacy skills in fun and innovative ways. And I'm proud to see our Capital City Public Charter School students involved in First Step and are continuing their learning this summer by getting the hands-on experience they need to pursue. And I think I understand they've completed their CDA already, so that actually deserves a round of applause. And it doesn't hurt that along with this, they're also getting their paycheck along with 1,300 students for the Summer Youth Employment Program. Through our historic investments in education, we are preparing our students for the most high-demand careers in engineering, hospitality, information technology, and more through our high school career academies. As we think of building a pipeline for early childhood education, this is the perfect place to start, especially with such a successful pilot. First Step, students like First Step, Evan Benzanitas, but I think that Evan's not the only one who has found his passion in early childhood and in fact, plans on attending college so that they can pursue a degree in early childhood education. Do you guys mind raising your hand, all of you who are going to college and interested in early childhood? See? Woohoo! Great, and we have some folks. Really excited to have a number of our folks actually not just taking the CDA as a way to earn money in college and but a career path to early childhood education. With the students today, more than 150 students with these investments, 150 more students over the next 3 years will participate in First Step. They will graduate with the CDA on the right path for the AA degree. They'll receive practical paid work experience with our licensed child care centers. They will have all their fees paid for related to getting their CDA, application and the exam, and they'll have access to scholarships, professional development opportunities, and other supports when they go to college to continue to pursue their early childhood. And we can discover their passions and interests right here in our child care centers. With our new citywide investments, we're committed to supporting all of our residents, in addition to our high school students, through the First Step program, who have been working in childcare for many, many years. Because we know the value of the educator's experience, we want to work, OSSI and various aspects of the DME, want to work with all of our educators to make sure that they're on a path to reaching the new high standards, which are going to bring the best quality we can to our young people. Little people. And OSSI is working to put a process in place to support all of those who need to get their AA degree. In the meantime, our Teach Scholarship program, online courses, and variety of other resources are there to support our educators and providers. As we think about equity in early childhood in education, our investments are focused not only on the access of number of seats, but also of quality. And for that, I would like to make sure we thank our State Superintendent, Hanseul Kang, and Assistant Superintendent Elizabeth Skorginski from the Office of the State Superintendent for Education for their work in ensuring that DC continues to be a national leader in early childhood education. We would also like to thank our partners in our government agencies who are critical to this work. The Office of the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, who launched our Thrive by 5 initiative early this year, as well as numerous other agencies that are supporting our youngest learners. And finally, I want to say thank you to our educators and providers. Your commitment to our youngest learners is critical for our entire city's success. I'm proud to call you all partners in this work, and I hope that we can continue to work together to support our youngest learners. Thank you very much, and it's my pleasure to introduce my boss, Mayor Muriel Bowser, a supporter of early childhood education.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's always great to be here at SED. And I see you, Ray Ritchie, because I was trying to remember how long it's been since we started. 2008, maybe? 2008, right in this building. And it brings me great pleasure to be back at SED to talk about our new initiatives focused on how we educate DC residents for DC jobs to serve DC children. And First Step is doing exactly that. Give them another big round of applause. So to the deputy mayors and the superintendent and everybody at the Office of the State Superintendent, I want to say thank you, because this team has been really laser focused on how we really put together the best quality programs. The truth is, this is the best of times in Washington, D.C., people. And the truth is that a lot of people have worked very hard on the renaissance of our city. And I get asked all the time, Bowser, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want your legacy to be? And it's simply this. I want to have a fantastic, growing, and prosperous city. I just want more Washingtonians to participate in that prosperity. And this... We know there's no better way than a quality education. Now, we're lucky in our city because we have made the commitments in early childhood education. But it's not enough to spend money, is it? It has to be quality programs and quality people and a government structure that allows that to happen. So you heard from the deputy mayor that we are here to highlight how we're creating well-qualified and well-prepared early childhood professionals in the district. Just walk around Petworth or any neighborhood in Washington, D.C., and you tell me what you see. Babies. Don't you see a lot of babies? And you know what I really love when I go around the region and somebody will tell me, I used to live in Washington, D.C., but I moved because I had a baby. And I say to them, you know what we have in D.C. too? Babies. And so it's up to us to make sure we're creating more slots. So all around us, the city, there are locations that people are confident in. They're confident in the professionals. And we have a system business-wise that lets them get started. So I am very proud to say that in the most recent budget, we invested $11 million in the Office of the State Superintendent for Education. This investment has, we hope, will allow us to attract the creation of 1,000 new early childhood slots. I asked the deputy mayor, I said, that's great, but I want a program. They say the federal government has it and it's working well. Well, we can do that too. So we are looking for 3 new sites in DC-owned buildings for child care for DC residents, and we're going to get that up and running. And this new investment will enable us to serve 300 DC residents in helping them gain certification as educators for infants and toddlers over the next 3 years. So we all have the same goal. We want the best for our kids, and we know that when we really focus on our youngest learners, we're setting them up for success throughout their lives. And we know that our early childhood providers and educators are committed to this goal too. To better support our educators and everything that they do, we are making sure they have the resources that they need. So for another year, the second consecutive year, we're increasing the child care subsidy, which some providers have already used to support higher staff salaries. We're investing $1.2 million in the TEACH program and expanding the CDA certificate program. We're making many of the CDA required courses available online 24/7. And of course, we're investing in First Step. So through all of these programs, we know that we will continue to build on our fantastic education system. We will deliver more and more children that are well prepared when they start in our public schools and schools around the district, and we know that sets them up for success. So it brings me pleasure now to invite our Superintendent Hanseul Kang to come up and tell us a little bit more about what we're doing in early child care. Hanseul.
Good morning, everyone. I want to start by just thanking the mayor for her leadership on this incredibly important issue. Last year in the State of the District Address, Mayor Bowser charged the Deputy Mayor for Education and the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services with working together to ensure that we were doing everything we could to improve the quality of early learning in the city. And we've really taken that charge seriously at OSSE. We work in partnership across the Education and Health and Human Services clusters, and we've done the important initiatives that you've heard described today. As you've heard from the mayor and the deputy mayor, we are fully committed to providing high-quality child care in our licensed facilities throughout D.C. and helping our early childhood educators earn the required education credentials. I just wanted to take a minute to share a little bit more about why this requirement is so essential to providing high-quality care. According to an overwhelming body of research, the first years of a child's life are the most critical to brain development. During this rapid period of development, more than 1 million new neural connections are made every second. The achievement gap and the opportunity gap starts early, unfortunately, and we know that the quality of children's earliest experiences can set them on the path for positive language, cognitive, and social-emotional development and build the essential groundwork for all future learning. An educated early childhood workforce equipped with the understanding of brain development and the skill set and the competencies for supporting that development can have a profound impact on a child's success. The research report, Transforming the Workforce for Children Birth Through Age 8, a Unifying Foundation, provides dynamic insights into the tremendous impact that adults providing care and education have on young children. This report recommended several ways in which to support children in those formative years. And among the recommendations were a minimum education requirement of a bachelor's degree for all teachers. In new licensing regulations that went into effect last December, they require home caregivers, associate caregivers, and assistant teachers to earn a CDA credential by December 2018. Expanded home caregivers, an associate's degree with a minimum of 24 semester hours in early childhood by December 2019, and teachers to have an associate's degree with a minimum 24 semester hours in ECE by 2020. These requirements are incredibly important, and our initial data show that luckily 38% of teachers in DC child development facilities already have an associate's degree or higher, several years ahead of when the requirement takes effect. About 80% of our center directors already have bachelor's degrees or higher, or are a few classes away from meeting that requirement. OSSI is committed to taking intentional and concrete steps to allowing all educators to meet these new requirements and supporting them along the way. We have raised subsidy rates 2 years in a row to meet the rising cost of infant and toddler care. We're investing more than $3 million in scholarships and supports for directors, teachers, and providers to meet the new credentials. We are collaborating with current and future providers to ensure they are supported every step of the way, including hosting gatherings like this workshop and a recent legal clinic held this past a recent weekend in partnership with the DC Bar Association Pro Bono Center and the Mayor's Office to help our providers navigate the requirements of starting or expanding their businesses. And we'll continue to evaluate the impact of these new requirements on providers, their staff, and most importantly on the families that we serve. We are proud that DC is continuing to take the lead and raising the bar to improve the credentials of our early childhood workforce. OSSI is always working to sustain, accelerate, and deepen the progress being made in DC education, and that means making sure our youngest learners have a strong start through high-quality care. And with that, I'd like to bring up a key partner of ours at OSSI, Tiffany Williams, who's the Chief Program Officer at Martha's Table, to tell us a little bit more about her work.
Good morning, Mayor Bowser, Deputy Mayor Niles, and Superintendent Kang, and all who are gathered here this morning. I am Tiffany Williams, Chief Program Officer at Martha's Table. At Martha's Table, we believe that every child deserves the opportunity for their brightest future and a deeply engaged and committed family and community that's geared towards their success. And we believe that investing in the development of our teaching staff, the people who put in long hours, day in and day out, to shape the minds of our children is a critical extension of our mission. Over the last 3 years, Martha's Table has increased its intentionality in supporting our early childhood programming, beginning with a focus on supporting our teachers in training, professional development, and educational attainment. In 2014, we set a goal that all of our teachers would have at least an associate degree by the end of 2016, and that we would support our teachers in achieving those goals. We've seen that having a well-trained workforce not only drives what our early care teachers do in the classroom, but perhaps just as importantly, helps them to inform on why it is that they're doing what they're doing. Many of our teachers have had the opportunity to further their education through the TEACH program, which supports teachers in advancing their education, not just through tuition support, but books, travel stipends, and employer-sponsored time off to study. So far, 10 of our teachers have completed the TEACH program out of 30 teachers, and I'm very excited to say that 80% of the teachers that are at Martha's Table have a minimum of an associate's degree. What's also important is that out of the 10 teachers that recently graduated, all but one of them is the first in their family to attend college. Having the degree has definitely helped our teachers be more intentional in their approach to their work. They have gained a deeper understanding of children and how they develop, and we've seen a change in the way that our teachers see themselves as educational professionals. They come with a new level of intentionality, which has informed how Martha's Table approaches our own program design, and the results are reflected in our class scores and our student assessment scores. Some ask, why a person needs a credential to be a good teacher in early child care. And to that question, I respond, for something as important as teaching, why wouldn't you want that person to be well trained? Certainly, there are going to be some costs to supporting a well-trained workforce, but the flip side of this is that we simply cannot afford to do nothing. We owe it to our children. And we owe it to our teachers, who are people with families and goals, who also deserve to realize their greatest opportunity. Without education, early care workers are more likely to work long hours and earn low wages. It's not a sustainable career for someone who may have a passion for impacting young minds, but who cannot afford to support themselves and their families. TEACH has the potential to change the lives of these early care educators. Many early care teachers live at the poverty line. With more education, they could earn a decent living wage for themselves and their families. The program makes obtaining a mutually beneficial credential accessible to those who may not have the time and energy or resources to complete a degree program, while also working a full-time job and, in many cases, raising a family alone. It's no secret that women make up the overwhelming majority of the early childhood workforce, and research shows that when a woman pursues higher education, her offspring will most likely pursue the same or more. Investing in our teachers' education directly impacts outcomes for both the teachers and their students. My colleague, Susan Mara, who's in the audience, is a teacher in one of our Tyler classrooms. Susan is currently enrolled in the TEACH program, and I'd like to close by sharing some of Susan's thoughts on the TEACH program. Susan said, "I would like to thank TEACH DC for giving me the opportunity to advance my education, opening new doors in my life and supporting me along the way. I never thought it was possible for me, but I will be graduating this August with my associate's degree in early childhood education." My goals are to continue my education, complete my bachelor's degree, with a little pressure from me, and start my own early learning center. As a mother, becoming an entrepreneur is important to setting a good example for my children. This is only the beginning. I will continue my commitment to give young children a healthy start and a bright future. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor Bowser, welcome back again to the SET Center, 9 years ago, right? I would like to invite you for a tour, and also please join us if you can. We'll be more than welcome. Thank you.